Engineer BPI Marvin. First of all, good morning to each and everyone, to our Supreme Member, and to our beloved BODs. It is an honor and privilege for me to introduce our resource technical speaker for today. He is born and raised in Isabela Province, Cagayan Valley region in the Philippines, in which he took his degree in Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering back in 1985 and a PRC board passer in 1987. He then started his career as project engineer for almost 10 years through his own home builders contracting company and been involved with many multi-million projects in the Philippines. He then got opportunity to work overseas in Oman way back in 1994 up until 1998 as resident engineer in sewage treatment plant and landscape projects on different entities. He then moved to Dubai municipality way back in 1998 as civil supervisor in drainage and irrigation system department for the maintenance of its network and worked there for almost 4 years. Then he got a chance to be part of Orient Irrigation Services as a small contract manager back in 2002, mainly to oversee small-scale civil engineering projects. Since then, he started to climb up on his career, and sometime in 2005, he joined Hamria Free Zone Authority, Sharjah, UAE, as projects and planning manager. And one of his great achievements as a project manager is the completion of multi-billion infrastructure projects all over in Sharjah. Because of his tremendous career track, he was headhunted to join Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority in 2015 as the head project manager, PMO Executive Office, and head project section of SEWA Water Department, mainly to manage and monitor all ongoing multi-billion projects and provide interdisciplinary coordinations of various specialist disciplines. It was also on the same year wherein he completed his master's degree in MS Construction Management through PUP Open University System. He is also an authorship of many articles, a contributor, and involved in many public speaking engagement throughout the country on different organizations such as the PSME. He is also a university professor, a course specialist for Master of Science in Construction Management being offered by Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Open University System through its Dubai and Abu Dhabi remote campus. Likewise, among others, he is also a certified PMO professional and PMP holders, certified IPMO-E, Prince 2 practitioner, certified professional engineering manager, and lifetime Lean Six Sigma Black Belt credential holder. Despite his tight schedule, he never ended up in keeping up further career advancement. He is currently pursuing his PhD in project management in Al-Falah University. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker with combined 35 years of civil engineering practice. Let's all welcome Engr.Paquito Idos.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ray, for that. I would say I was blown away with the introduction that you have. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. Anyway, first and foremost, let's thank God for having a wonderful morning today, a new morning for all of us. And also, I would like to thank the PSME for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to welcome all the participants. And I hope that we are going to learn something. This type of webinar or let's say seminars is not only a one-way learning. I would say you are learning from me, and I'm learning more from you guys, especially those who are willing to participate to join the discussion if they are allowed to. My topic today might not be specifically related to your discipline as mechanical engineers, but being a professional in the industry, it become part of our daily activity or daily task to monitor projects. Uh, it doesn't mean that when we are talking about projects, it's only about what we are doing in our profession, but still we can also consider some of our personal projects in our life. They are also considered as projects. So shall I start now the presentation itself? For
Yes, sir. Sir, you can proceed, sir.
Sorry, Engineer Cesar's no more.
oh, sorry.
Still
I believe
not
I have
here.
part of the program. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that.
So okay, so if Engineer Cesar is not around, so we can.
Hello, Sir Marvin. Sir Press Joel, can acknowledge?
Yeah, please, Sir Bobby.
Okay. Yun, before anything else, okay, sorry for the interruption. Just welcome
Pakito.
also Chairman Noy. I think he's joined us right now. Okay. Welcome, Chairman Noy. And then also, before anything else, I just want to invite everybody in our upcoming 11th MERC, or Middle East Regional Conference, this coming July 31 and August 1. And then Press Joel will release some good news for you. Okay, I know ikaw na Press Joel ang magsabi sa kanila. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so we will continue since Engineer Cesar is not. I think there some trouble with his net. So we will proceed to the webinar proper with our speaker, Engineer Paquito Idos. Engineer Paquito Idos. Engineer Jeff Valero is also here, our IPP. Sir Jeff, good morning. So,
good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I will give now the floor to yes, sir. So I will give now the floor to our speaker, Engineer. Sir, sorry, Engineer Paquito. I am giving you the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hello. Good morning, professionals. Good morning to all the participants. I hope that my voice is clear and that you can hear me properly. Just in case you have any question, I believe you can always raise your hand, and one of our panelists would be either giving you the access or to speak the audio. They will give you the audio capability, or maybe they will let you raise your question on the chat room, and it can be read to me or to all so that for all the participants to hear the question, and it will be answered accordingly. If you among the moderators or the panelists in this webinar, just please, you are allowed to interrupt me anytime at all. I would rather accept interruptions, because it is good that we can discuss anything that come up as soon as possible in order to forget the focus on the topic. And also, guys, just remind me if I'm speaking too much, or if or too fast rather, or if you cannot understand what I'm saying, or if you cannot hear me properly. And also, I encourage all the participants to ask questions. Don't be ashamed. Okay. For me, I appreciate people who ask questions, because those people who ask questions are those who are willing to learn. And also the fact that maybe the doubt you have in your mind, or the question you want to ask, is a similar question or similar doubt that another participant is having in his mind. So if we are ashamed to ask question and those doubts is not answered, then we are all losing on that knowledge. But if we ask the question and it was clarified, then all those who are having similar questions or doubts will be benefiting on the discussion. So it's always my practice that before I start any discussion, any seminar, any training, I always share a thought. Okay, and to keep the wheel of success in motion, keep challenging yourself. Maybe guys, in this very early part of my presentation, this presentation is not only about technical, but I would also be sharing with you some insights for leadership and for personal career improvement. So bear with me, and we will continue with this discussion. So I am Engr.Paquito Idos, a native of Isabela. Okay, I'm working as the head project manager of the PMO Executive Office of Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority, and my direct line of reporting is with our chairman. By the way, usually this is what I'm presenting in our workshop or in the classroom. I said, this is what I look at if you are talking while I'm talking. But fortunately, majority of the participants are on mute right now. So there are no much disturbance. But in a classroom environment, sometimes some students are having their own meeting, their own discussion. And this is the second time, maybe, that if I catch you talking, okay, this is how I look. The third time, and this is the fourth time. So, but please don't wait for this to happen. I'm just joking, just to cheer up everyone, and I want everybody to be attentive to let your blood circulating properly, guys. So, just a quick introduction to myself. Who am I? Okay. Parang mas bata yata yung naibigay sa profile ko, ano? Press Joel. So I have my master's degree in construction management through Polytechnic University of the Philippines, a certified PMO professional by the Association, by the Association of International and the Academy of Business and Financial Managers. IPMOE is actually stands for Association of Project Management Officer expert level by AIPMO Zurich in Switzerland. Again, as an Lean Six Sigma black belt practitioner, and also an PEM or a professional engineering manager by ASEM with more than 30 years. Sinabi yata 35, parang pinatanda ako ni Engineer Ray kanina ng konti. So anyway, thank you. 20 years and counting in the UAE. Okay. What is PMO? Okay. Ang sarap sanang pag-usapan ng may discussion, but in the meaning, the acronym of PMO actually is Project Management Office. And this is what I have made in our organization, Project Management Office. Okay. But for us, in our organization, I changed it a little bit. PMO for us means Project Management Owners. Okay. Why? Why PMO as project management owners or project management owner? Because we have a car, okay, and it's a beautiful one. It's a sports car, right? So meaning, actually, when you are having a car, means, and you are the driver, right? So we are directing, we are managing, we are taking care of the project, we support, and project manage PMO, project management owners or office would basically provide the necessary guidance and assistance to all the project team. But the car that I'm referring to is being committed, accountable, and responsible. So when we I will just give you the my discussion, as you can see, is just giving you a brief or insight about project management, and later on as we go on with the presentation, I will be giving you or discussing about project monitoring. By the way, just a quick question, maybe how many among our participants are dealing with monitoring projects or assigned as engineers, project managers, supervisors? So I believe with our industry, with the engineering industry, whether we are assigned as project manager, project engineer, project supervisor, or in whatever position, it is always an advantage for us to learn, okay, and gain new knowledge. One of the insight that I'm going to share with you guys is the fact that and also one of the reasons why I'm not worried or I'm not afraid to share my knowledge or share this type of discussion is the fact that it's normal and it's a human nature. It's only human that at times we who are in appointed in a high position, there are tendencies that there is a fear that when we teach others on what we know or how we are doing our jobs, we are afraid, or there is that fear that if this guy will come to know what I'm doing, or when he learns how to do what I'm doing, and based on his connection or wasta, he might be taking over my job. That is a common fear for everyone and being human. But it's not, we cannot allow that fear to dwell in us. The reason why I'm not afraid to share whatever I know is that I keep learning new things every day. I'm not keeping myself stagnant. In that way, if you learn one new thing a day, the other people whom you are teaching what you know today will not be in the same level where you are tomorrow. But if you are stagnant, you are not trying to learn something new in a day, then that's the time you should fear that someone would take over your position. That is why I salute all those participants now in this webinar. Saludo ako sa inyo dahil you are all, okay, investing time to acquire knowledge. And the only way forward to succeed in life is keeping yourself uh, abreast of the development, the improvement. Keep learning. Don't stop learning. Don't sit on your comfort zone. Think outside the box. Try to go out of your comfort zone, because if you are on your comfort zone, sooner or later, time will catch up with you, and promotions, improvements will be hard to come. One more thing, guys, I've learned from my mentor, who is our chairman, that if you cannot be number one, try to find a way to be number one. make a criteria in such a way that you can prove yourself to be on top. And in doing that, make sure that you have the data, you have the supporting documents to prove what you are doing. There are so many things. There are so many ways to do this. And we are working here in the Middle East, or the OFWs are working in a very diverse multicultural environment wherein there are a lot of people grabbing credits. One of the most important thing that I want to share with you guys is, if you have achievements, if you have milestones in what you are doing in your job, learn how to highlight them to the management. Don't let your other nationality colleague pick up those informations, put in a piece of paper, and forward to the management. Sometimes he will look at you, what you are doing, he will take it and present it to the top management. At the end of the day, you are wondering why this guy got a promotion, why this guy got a bonus. But what he presented is what I'm doing. That's the point. He highlighted what you are doing, and the credit had been to him. That is why it is important for us guys to know how to highlight our uh, extra miles, our achievements. And I will share that information with you. How am I doing it? And how I succeeded in doing it without unnecessarily creating, okay, any nuisance or to other, or to all my colleagues in the organization. So these are my assistants in this presentation. From time to time, you will see them pop up or in the slides. Okay. So the objective is to provide attendees insights, okay, about project monitoring based from PMI perspective, the importance of project monitoring, and provide PSME professionals with the simple tool in monitoring their projects. I will be sharing also a Excel file which I developed to simply monitor a project at a high level. It is not that detailed. It is a high level. I have another tool developed, but it's not yet completed. It is usable, but I need more refinement on it. And I already used it in a pilot project, or I piloted it in one of our smaller project, and the result was for me very satisfying, because it gives me a clear understanding on what is really going on at site in terms of the progress against the baseline. So the Project Management Institute was founded by Eggman McDonnell Douglas Automation, James Snyder, and Susan Gallagher of Smith Klein and Friends Laboratories, Eric Janet from Brown and Root, and J. Gordon Davis from Georgia Institute of Technology. At the Georgia Institute of Technology in 1969 as a nonprofit organization. Project Management Institute is the world's leading project management organization. Okay? And as you may see, sometimes part of the requirements of employers is being a PMP certified, especially those who are applying for a position of project manager or assistant project manager, resident engineer. Sometimes it's an advantage. PMI is providing professional certifications. There are a lot of certifications, and it has more than 500 global members and over 300 local chapters internationally. Any questions so far? Mayroon ba tayong nakikitang nagko-question sa ano? Guys, please interrupt me if I'm talking too fast, and if there are any question, interrupt me and please read it out for me so that I can focus on the presentation. Okay. What is project, by the way? Siguro meron bang magvo-volunteer na mag-define ng project, kung ano ang project? Oh, Miguel, may nagbo-volunteer sa likod ko, kumakahol eh. Okay. First, we need to define what project is all about. Project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Temporary, meaning it has a defined beginning and end in time, and therefore it also has a defined scope and resources. Unique in the sense that it is not a routine operation. It is different from manufacturing. It is different from refinery. Those type, and it is different from any other activities that has a continuous or a routine operation. But projects have a specific set of operations designed to accomplish a singular or particular project. Okay. So again, when we are talking about project is, they say, unique. It has a specific objective. It should be planned, executed, and controlled. Projects has complexity because there are projects that requires several disciplines, several integrations from mechanical, electrical, security, you can name it. There are a lot of things to be considered when we are talking about a project. It depends on the requirements. It depends on the needs. It depends on the end result that the client wants. It has technical, organizational, resources, and team, which means we have a specific or a defined resources needed for the project, and it has defined starts and end dates. Anyone who is familiar with the triple project constraints, the project's triple constraints? Okay. Maybe as you can, so since I'm only the one having the authority to talk, I will continue with, I will keep on talking, okay? So the project's triple constraints are my, I don't know what happened. Okay. We have the time, the cost,
Yes.
and scope. Okay, so those are the triple, the project's triple constraints: the time, the cost, and scope. So usually in every project, we have always a duration, and it is important for us to monitor the duration. I mean the duration, because there are always delay penalties in every contract agreement signed. There is always a delay penalty clause. And if we fail to deliver our project on time, definitely we will be slapped with penalties, and those penalties are very are high risk to every project and every management or every contractor. That is why it is important for one of the pitfalls, by the way, of contractors is a lot of contractors are greedy. They keep on accepting or entering into contract agreements that at times they are not capable or they don't have the capability in terms of resources to comply with what they have contracted or they have agreed. If by any time soon you are planning to put up your own company, my advice is always make sure to sign contract agreement of which you believe you have the resources to comply with. You know why? There are a lot of contractors who are signing all the contract agreements, the projects available, and they start simultaneously. At the end of the day, most of the projects, because of the shortage of manpower or resources, some of their projects end up delayed. And with the very competitive market we have, when you are going to sum up the total penalties they incurred, it might have been, sometimes it is bigger or higher than what is their projected profitability. So again, uh, in the future, if you are intending to become a contractor, make it a habit to ensure that in entering into an agreement, you have adequate resources to execute the project to avoid delays. In terms of cost, yes, always it's always project have always cost, and the most important thing that we can do is to monitor the cost and to ensure that we are not overspending. Because if we allow that to happen, again, our profitability is lost. In terms of scope, there should be a clear scope of what we are going to carry out or to execute as a contractor. And from time to time, let's avoid gold plating. Ano po ba yung gold plating? Siguro yun yung isang magandang tanong na ano na kung masagot ng ating mga participants, pwede nang gawing bigyan ng, di ba may award system kayo, guys?
Meron yata, sir.
Meron?
Meron yan.
Sige, kung
May
may award
certificate,
dito,
sir.
sige, bigyan natin ng certificate. So, okay. If you can just give, whoever will be the first to tell me or give the definition, or who can define properly what is gold plating in projects. So maybe, guys, you can give a certificate or an award to whoever will be the first, or who can give the best definition on the gold plating. What is gold plating in construction?
Anybody from our attendees who wants to answer?
Yeah.
Just raise your hand on the participants tab at the lower part of your screen. You can always raise your hand, or on the chat box, you can always say, "Sir, I want to talk," or "Sir, I have an answer." Crystal Prane, sir, Sir Idos, and maybe Crystal Prane first. I will allow her to talk.
Yeah, please.
Crystal?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, sir. Okay, so based on my understanding, gold plating is like, for example, the project engineer is giving like extra services, or like it's like I mean, kumbaga, yung services na ino-offer nila is nagdadagdag sila. No, I mean, sorry, I will explain. Yung output is parang kinukoating nila ba? Pinapabango nila yung output nila. Even though in actual is hindi naman.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, there's another one, sir. Maybe you want to hear. Dub
Yes, please,
066261.
please.
Dub. Sir, you can
Hi,
speak
good
now.
morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. For me, I think this is only in addition with Ma'am Crescel. This is what the gold plating means. It is the act of giving the customer more than what he originally asked. May yun, tama yun, pinasusobrahan. May mas maganda pang nilalagay doon sa project. Yun yung natatandaan ko pa. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And bakit kaya yung mga contractor at times ginagawa nila ito?
There's another one. Engineer Joanna.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Joanna.
Hindi ko alam kung naka-video ako. Kagising ko lang, sorry. Usually, pag sinasabi kasi natin gold plating, lahat naman for example, lahat naman tayo when we are in engineering practice, meron tayong nakukuha ng mga services. And we wanted our clients to get, parang if we have to say it in a layman's term, it is an extra mile to what we are desired or what we are contracted to do. But sometimes, or there are times that the gold plating, shall we say, in that word, is not helpful. It might be a bad influence for the client on the client side. Kasi parang pinapabango mo yung pangalan mo, yung company mo, so that you can earn more. Diba? Kasi in the business perspective, as a business person, ginagawa mo lang yan because you want to have more project from that. Para bang, okay, so that when we gonna have to bid again for another project, mas ka-consider ka kaagad. Kasi ito maganda tong services. Kasi even if we are not requiring, like, kasi isang project ko that I was also thinking about that before was when I was handling Yasmol. Sobrang hirap talaga yung pinagdaanan ko doon because of how it was constructed and all that. Pinabayaan ng contractor. So ang nangyari, my client, which is Aldar, was expecting so much from it, from a very meager, sabihin na lang natin, very meager budget. So sabi ko sa kanya one time, what do you want? Do you want me to paint the whole mall with gold? Parang ganon. So it is gold plating actually. Just to have, yung edge ba? Kasi binigyan na kami ng binigyan kami ng 7 days for termination. Talagang I was compelled to stay. Nag-hotel pa ako talaga in Yas Island because of it. Kasi isipin mo, in 7 days, ika-cancel nila ang contract namin. And that's a 12 million contract. So parang dumating ako sa point talaga na gusto ko ng pinturahan yung buong mall ng gold. Just to appease talaga. So gold plating actually is, in the sense, it is good. But in the other side, it is not also that good. So it's a balance. Depende na yan sa'yo as a contractor, as a business person, kung how you will be able to deal and make it an edge. As long as your services is good, your services is excellent, then it's okay. But if your services is not and you are just parang nagbabribe ka in the sense, then it is not good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In layman's word, brutal layman's word, ibig sabihin lagay.
One more, sir.
Yeah.
Sige.
Sir, inano lang to, tinype ng one of our participant.
Okay.
From Ramir. He said it is an add-on part from a grid scope to give delight to the client. The other one is from J. Ingal. Gold plating is a voluntary additional scope to please the client. So almost the same.
Yeah, okay.
Sir,
So,
last sir. Sorry, I interrupt kasi may chance akong I'm just reading.
okay. Go ahead.
Gold plating refers to giving the customer extras extra functionality, higher quality components, extra scope, or better performance. Although you might have a policy promoting gold plating at work, but this is not accordingly recommended by the PMI.
Yes, it's not. It's not. Thank you very much, Engineer Arnel. Actually, it's not a good practice. It's not recommended because any particular work that you are going to do or any add-ons that you are going to provide aside from the agreed specification and scope, it has always a cost. But at times, contractors really do this just to gain the trust of the uh, the the clients or the owners and to levy for any future projects. So parang nag-ano lang din sila, kumbaga namumuhunan. Yun yung term na ginagamit nila. Sir, namumuhunan lang kami. But then, if you are going to do that, at least yung you will be, if I am the client, aside from I would be thinking about it, because aside from the intention of maybe gaining my trust and having my confidence on them to carry out my future projects, I would also be thinking on what are the possibilities of well, the markup that they have put into the contract that I have signed with them, because they have that leverage to do this. Okay. So nakita natin, we have seen what is by the way, kung sinong nanalo doon sa mga sumagot, lahat panalo eh. So siguro lahat kung ano yung pwedeng ibigay ng PSME, even a certificate of recognition for them for participating in the discussion, then that could be a good. The reason why I encourage also, alam nyo guys, even just to let you know and para lang ma-inform kayo, sinabi kanina ni Engineer Ray that I'm one of the Open University long distance learning professor of PUP, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and are conducting Master of Science and Construction Management program here in the UAE. And what I'm doing also is during the class, during exams, nagbibigay ako ng mga certificates para dun sa mga top 3 or depende, at times top 5, but mostly top 3 doon sa result ng exams. And why I'm doing this, I'm telling everybody that actually I'm providing you this certificate of recognition not only for you, but I want you to hang these recognition certificates on your walls so that to encourage your children. Para kayo ang maging modelo nila, they will look at you and they will think that my dad at his age, at this point in time, he is still doing well in whatever he is doing. So they will emulate you guys. I want you as parents, or I want ourselves as parents to inspire our children for them to follow our footprints or footsteps in terms of how we are educating ourselves, how we are preparing for the future. Okay, so on to the next slide. If we have the triple constraints, we have also a project extended constraint. And the triple constraint is the time, cost, and scope. And we have the other 3, which is resources. Okay, when we are talking about resources, at times, ang unang pumapasok lang sa isip natin kadalasan, materials, equipments, manpower. Meron pa ba missing? Among in terms of the resources?
Just a guess, sir. Maybe time.
Okay. Time is, pwede rin, kaya lang time is given na eh. So, andyan na. So,
can I recognize, sir?
Please,
Okay.
please recognize.
I will add quality and manpower.
Okay. Di ba?
Sir,
Okay. Yeah, quality.
design changes.
Yes, please.
Design changes
Design changes. Okay. Yes.
or
The
scope changes. Yeah.
design changes, scope changes. Okay, so they are in the scope already. Anyway, kadalasan sa mga projects natin, when the management is asking or when we are making our considerations, pag nabanggit yung word or yung term na resources, the first things that comes in our mind is manpower, equipment, materials. And at times, we forget about funding, money. That is a very important resources that we must have in our project, because if this is not available, even if we have money or we have manpower, we have equipment, we have materials, but if we don't have any money to pay for the salary of our people and everything, or to buy petrol, to buy other consumables, then we cannot survive, or we cannot complete the project, or we cannot even progress on the project. So don't forget this. Anything, the major resources that we need in every project that we do is, if you remove that particular item, hindi natin magagawa. So they are essential. Those are the things that are essential in our project. Going on to risk. Also, all projects are, in effect, they are very risky. The only thing that makes a project safe is the ability of the contractor to identify, establish, and control and mitigate those risks. Okay. So again, in terms of risk, there are so many ways of taking care of this. You can transfer them, you can avoid them, and you can accept them. Meaning, when we one source of one way of eliminating risk from the side of the owner, but when it comes to project, is the fixed lump sum contracts. And most of project owners are doing this if the project or the scope is not properly defined. So and this type of projects or this type of contracting at times is very problematic, and it is very costly to, or very risky to the side of the contractor. The best way to manage or to handle a poorly defined scope project is through like itemized costing, time and money. So you will do it, they will carry out the work, and you will just pay them. You will just agree on rates. They will carry out the work, you will certify what is the completed, pay them accordingly. This type is very safe to contractor, but at times become costly to the owner. The other is quality, as mentioned by Engineer Abner a while ago. Oh, sorry, Arnel. It is part of this is one of the major mostly disputed item in every project. Minsan doon tayo nagkakatalo sa quality. Minsan one of the reason why contractors are not being able to collect properly is not sometimes it's not because the client is not willing to pay, or the client don't have the money to pay, but at times the client is not releasing the payment because they are not satisfied, or the quality agreed upon might not have been complied. So kapag if a company is having that difficulty of collecting payments, then you have to think, you have to analyze. You need to carry out a study why we are not being able to collect. try to get back to those payment certificates or those payment claims or billings that are not being paid and understand what are the reasons by the owners why they are not paying you or why they are not releasing the payments. And most of the time, you will find out that one of the main reason would be quality, that they are not satisfied with the quality. A while ago, we talked about gold plating. This time,
Sir, excuse me, interrupt, sir. Sir
please.
Idos.
Yes.
Sir, you're talking quality. Is it apart from FIDEC for PMI? Is it allowed to cut what is this, the monthly payables to the contractor if there is so many NCRs on their particular activities or works?
Well, if there are
Thank you, sir.
you are asking thank you. You are asking PMI. Is it PMI you are asking?
Yes, sir. I mean, it is. I mean, PDIC is one part. I mean, in PMI requirements. I mean, is it the PMO is the project management office is allowed to cut, not to cut, to hold the payments. Example, it is a monthly payment for the contractor or semi-annual. I don't. I mean, there are some cases. My question is, if there is some NCRs on the activity that they're doing, they can hold such a portion of payments because of this particular quality issues.
My answer to that, based on my experience, is yes, and it depends. Okay, yes, in the sense that the amount pertaining to those NCRs can be ascertained. So it can be deducted or it can be withheld from the current payment application of the contractor, because at the end of the day, when they will be able to comply, they can always reapply on that particular amount. The process of withholding that particular amount related to those NCR is to ensure that the owner is not overpaying the contractor on activities or scope of works that are not yet accepted or completed. It depends in the sense that, okay, it depends in the sense that these conditions should be contained under the clause of terms and conditions of the contract.
Okay, okay. May I interrupt, sir?
Yes,
Really, yes, sir. It's been a bit of good discussion you have here to hear from the basic conjunction to the what we can really relate down to what you are speaking, sir. And everything, actually, I've been noting, sir, all those words that you're saying. But sir, I think let's just have a little unwind. Let's have a little break. This will be our first break, and let me recover. Medyo kasi nalito rin ako kanina sa program. Sorry for all. Anyway, now I want to call our past president, Engineer Bobby, to introduce our one special guest from our national. Press Bobby, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Sir Frank, naka-join in na ba ulit si Sir Cesar?
Wala pa, sir. Negative.
Okay.
Sabi niya kasi kanina nung nag-join siya, meron pa siyang another meeting eh.
Oo nga. Yes po, pero nagsalita rin siya na sabihan lang siya. Siguro meron naman tayong 5 minutes break. Okay, so let's use this break kasi hindi pa rin siya nagre-reply.
Sige. So yung mga gustong magkape-kape, magkape muna.
toilet or something.
Oh, break muna, break. So,
So
sino
for
yung mga
the,
may...
yeah,
Yeah.
how is it? How do you find the topic so far? Because
Yes, for
it's
me,
related.
interesting.
Yeah, ang ginawa ko kasi rito, it's not all about our topic, but I'm trying to provide you guys insights and possible tools and techniques on how you can improve upon your personal careers.
Okay. Sir, ano lang, tanong ko lang doon sa ano, sa additional doon kay Sir Arnel, ano. Naka-break naman tayo. Yung holding ng payment, is it allowed by PDEC?
Yes.
Allowed by PDEC?
Yes, it is allowed as long as you are. It is one of the part of the. It's in the terms and conditions or the clauses of PDEC. It is allowed.
All right.
But that kaya nga ang sagot ko sa inyo kanina, my answer is yes and it depends.
Yeah,
Technically, the owner have the right to withhold appropriate amount, proportional amount related to the NCRs.
Yeah, okay.
However, it should be those conditions should be clearly specified also or stated in the signed contract agreement. So, in FIDEC meron yan, may particular clause yan sa FIDEC na nakalagay.
Sir, thank you, Sir Idos. May konti lang, Sir, actually. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat na nandito, yung FIDEC, akala ko dito lang yun, Sir. Ang akala ko. Yung pala, sa Pilipinas, yun din ginagamit ng mga contractor pala.
Hindi, international yan. Yung FIDEC is international.
Oh, so lahat ng mga engineer na nandito, yung FIDEC, isang law yata sa construction yan, yung bylaws ng mga contractor, dapat alamin natin lahat. Maganda nga itong topic ni Sir Engineer Idos. So sa hindi nakakaalam, kung magiging contractor kayo sa Pinas, dapat alamin niyo rin yung FIDEC, kung ano yung FIDEC actually.
Actually, guys, there are different books of FIDEC. Mayroon kang red, yellow, green. It depends. There are different applications also. So they are available. I believe I have some copies. I can share them with you later on. May PDF files ako ng FIDEC books. So I will be willing to share with all of you guys, and you can share to the members whoever are willing to have a copy of this.
So yung PDEC ba ngayon anong revision na ba siya? May bagong revision o?
Wala, actually ang nangyayari lang naman, may mga portions lang silang ina-amend or may mga add-ons lang mga nangyayari.
So for the information ng mga participant, yung pinag-usapan namin PDEC, most probably ang mga nakakaalam nito yung mga QS engineers, the condition of contracts, which we as a consultant like me, when doon kami kuminsan nagkakaroon ng dispute when we are issuing a certain NCRs sa site or non-compliance. Kasi laging kung mapapansin ninyo, especially do sa mga nasa construction, yung kanyang mga work inspection request, may laging nakalagay na note, it is construction responsibility na so and so. Sasabihin ng contractor sometimes, bakit meron pang ganyan sa nag-approve? So it is we have this PDEC, we have the na nagiging biblia o ng both contractors and the client, representative or the client.
Although we need to understand yung kasing it all depends naman kung doon sa kontrata na pipirmahan nyo. If it is mentioned in the contract that you are using FIDEC conditions, ilalagay naman doon that this contract is as per PDEC blah 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 kung anong version yung gusto natin. So kaya yun ang nagiging kumbaga basihan. Yun yung nagiging baseline kung paano mag-measure, paano mag-re-resolve ng mga issues or if there are any disputes concerning the project. And it is where the importance of having the cost breakdown from the submissions or the rates of the contractor comes. Kasi it is where you can ascertain what would be the probable cost related to those NCRs that are being raised by the owner or issued by the owner.
Sir, nagre-raise ng si Sir Ryan sa Bilala. Sir, pwede bang nating...
Sige, i-acknowledge mo yan. PMP certified din yan.
Sir Ryan?
Yung ating butihing professor.
Si Professor Ryan. Sir, pakibuksan. Sir Frank?
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Press.
Yeah, good morning, Sir Ryan.
Profits, good morning. Good morning, Press. Good morning sa inyo.
Welcome, welcome.
Just want, what Profits is saying about FIDIC is true. The FIDIC is your basis in creating the contract of whoever will be the for the client or for the contractor side or whoever will be engaged in the agreement. So that will be the basis for the creation of contract. But kanina kasi mayroon kasi binanggit about the PMI when it comes to the payment delay. So in PMI, yung we have one knowledge there, which is the procurement management. So the procurement management only guides the project team on the best management practices, because the procurement management is a process. So it only guides. It includes already yung sa contracts, but the FIDIC is specific to contracts. So how are you going to manage that contract? That is going to be tackled dun sa procurement management. So that's only my
okay, thank you very much. It's a very
about this one.
It's very important input from you. Thank you, Prof. And it is valid and correct also that in terms of yung kasing PMI, hindi naman sila ang role ng PMI is to verify and to confirm the qualifications. It is a third-party certification body that validates the expertise, knowledge, and qualification of an individual before he can be certified as a PMP or a project management professional credential holder.
And also, the PMI, the PMBOK guide is only a general guidance.
Guide.
But not specific to a project. But if you want to apply the PMBOK guide or the knowledge area there, you need to choose the best practices in that PMBOK guide in order to apply to a specific project. Because projects has so many facets. It may be construction, it may be in manufacturing, or any kind of new endeavor. So it only guides the whole process.
Well, actually, guys, in addition to Prof. Ryan's, what Prof. Ryan is saying is that, for example, you as a contractor or you as an owner, you believe there are parts of the PMI management tools and techniques that are really good for you to use in your contract. You can specifically capture them and put them as add-ons to your contract agreement, to the clauses of your contract agreement, so that they will become valid and applicable to your contract. Any reaction to that? Hello?
Yeah, sorry,
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, Prof. Ryan.
Engineer Marvin, can you, Engineer Marvin, can you call on to continue the presentation?
Okay.
Nasa number
Sir,
15 pa lang ako, meron tayong 50 plus. So.
Okay, sir. So, okay, sir, you may now, sir, proceed.
Okay. Welcome back, professionals, and thank you. Siguro naman medyo na kayo ng konti. Na freshen up na kayo, nakapag-kape, tsaa, nakapag-banyo, whatever it may be. So let's move on with our discussion. And by the way, thank you very much for those who are participating in this discussion. As I've said earlier, I consider this type of events or activities that I am not, that we are all learning. It's a vice versa. All of us learning. I'm learning from what you are discussing your inputs, I'm also learning. I cannot say that I know everything. I'm learning from you guys. And my principle in life is that even to the children I can learn something. Even to the beggars I can learn something. Even to maybe a crazy person, a mentally disabled person, I can still learn from him or her, because it's not all about knowledge that we can learn. We can learn about how being human, how to respect other people. Okay. So there are so many things that we can learn. At times, the people are mostly people are thinking that when a person is educated, he is very good, he knows everything, I should learn from him. But unfortunately, in my personal perception, that should not be the way, because I've said maybe from a very young child, or a very young person, or even from a beggar, maybe you cannot learn from them in terms of technical knowledge, but maybe you can learn from them about attitude. Okay, how to become humble, how to
Afraid.
see things in their perspective. Okay, because at times the perception of a person sometimes depends on what is the current status in life. So we must not look only on a single direction. We should look outside the box. We should always open for understanding other people's situation. Okay. The next question of my friend here is that what do you need to execute a project? So usually to execute a project you need resources such as project team, okay, materials, equipments, and as we discussed earlier, money. Project team, why? To do it which often includes people who don't usually work together, because in a project we are getting different people from different industries or different disciplines. Maybe we have for example, a building. So you need civil engineers, you need architects, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, uh, industrial engineers. If the project is so complex, then maybe you might even need electronics and communication engineers in terms of taking care of the building management system or the building information system that can be installed to the project, to the infrastructure or to the building, because the trend is now requiring for those types of technologies. So there are a lot. It's a multi discipline industry that we are working on, and one of the main one of the need is for you to be able to make all these disciplines work together as a team. Okay. I've been attending so many meetings, many project meetings, and I've been assigned as project manager of multi-million projects, wherein the cultural diversity of the project team is big. You might encounter people from Egypt, from India, from UK, all together in the team, and from some other places. There are locals. But when I'm attending, what I'm always doing is first, there was one project where I was assigned in the middle of the project, and there are a lot of chaos. I was brought on board by our top management, by our chairman. He assigned me to become the project manager to take care of the project, because the ship starts to sink. The ship is sinking. So he put me in charge. And what I did when I attended the meeting, I did not say anything. I just introduced myself being appointed, and I keep quiet. I observed the proceedings. I watched them. For the first 2 meetings, I was not making any comment. I was just observing. On the third comment, because during those days, their monthly progress meeting is lasting even more than 1 day because of improper management of the meeting. So on the third day, I opened up the meeting by saying, I appreciate everyone who is around, and I consider all people on the table as member of a team, and we call this as the project team. I tell them, I do not consider X person, Y person, and Z person as another company or another organization. For me, you might be a representative of the contractor, you might be a representative of the consultant, you might be a representative of our organization, but all of us in this table are team members. And we are dealing with a single project with an objective. And for me, I want the objective to be achieved as agreed upon the contract conditions. Now, I keep on telling people that in this team, we are a team. Always remember that if this project succeeds, we are all successful. If this project fails, we are all failure. Because at the end of the day, this project, whether we like it or not, will be in our profile. It will always be mentioned somewhere in time that you are a part of this project. And if it is a failed project, then you are also a failure. So with this type of discussion, with this type of motivation you are giving to the team, they will start to think and they will slowly collaborate. They will slowly work with one another. And then I told them, guys, I've been observing you. And based on my understanding, even in the past, your weekly progress or your monthly progress meeting is lasting 1 day to 2 days. Starting from next meeting onwards, I want you to make an adjustment